Pardon me and my tone. You can't step to my throne. They ain't working like me. I did this on my own. You asking where we been, huh? I don't know where to begin, huh? All this dirt on my skin. I just came here to win. I'm more than a man, I'm a monster. Somebody call a pastor, doctor. I got a 6 cents for imposters. So now I'm coming for the whole roster. It's not a game, why you playing with me? You could double back, lose track, try and hang with me. It must be in my veins, something you can't tame, cause I break the chains. Can't control me. I got the power, I got the keys, cause I break the chains. They try to hold me, I'ma push back. Just wait and you'll see.
Welcome to the Talkin VAWLS Network. My name is Boogie Bentley, and I'm sure by now you have all seen the news. Our fearless leader, Mr. Hendon Hooker, tweets out, looking forward to many more. Let's run it back, Vol football. Absolutely huge news this Sunday afternoon. Hendon Hooker decides to come back for a senior season. What does that mean for this football team? What is the ceiling? What is the ceiling for 2022 with Hendon Hooker coming back to lead this football team? He is such a crucial part of this offense. We'll get into it. We'll discuss it. We'll take a look at what this offense could be coming up next season. But as always, do me a favor, go ahead and smash that like button just below the video. If you would so kindly press that thumbs up. Also, if you're new to the Talkin VAWLS Network, welcome. We're not experts. We're not insiders. We are fans just like you. So if you enjoy the content, go ahead and subscribe. Click that bell for notifications so you don't miss out when we go live or when we drop new content. We will be live Wednesday night, 7 p.m. Eastern time, as we cover the early signing day period. So make sure you join us for that. But let's talk about this offense. Let's talk about Hendon Hooker. Just again, absolutely huge news when you look at this football team moving into 2022. The excitement is through the roof. What's crazy, we still have a bowl game left to play, guys. We still have Tennessee and Purdue in the Music City Bowl later this month, but everybody is already looking ahead to next year. So much excitement with the news from Hendon Hooker. So now the next question is this. What about Cedric Tillman? What does Cedric Tillman decide to do? And I feel pretty confident he is also going to be coming back for his senior season, but we'll see how that plays out. But when you look at this offense, I've talked a lot about the offensive line over the last couple of days, especially with the news of former Florida Gator Gerald Mincey kind of tweeting out that he is 1,000% committed to the University of Tennessee. And then Austin Price over at VolQuest follows that up and says, guys, he's not even been offered yet, so I'm not sure where that is coming from. But the bottom line is this. Austin Price said today, 97% chance Tennessee will take Gerald Mincey. He said there were certain things that would have to happen. This transfer portal, we're going to have to see how it shakes out over the next couple of months, even all the way through spring practice. Guys are going to be in and out of the portal. But as of right now, looking at this offensive line, you're going to return Darnell Wright at left tackle, Jerome Carvin coming back for a super senior season. You're going to return Cooper Mays at center, Javonte Spraggins at guard, and then now the rumors out there about Cade Mays. Does Cade Mays decide to come back for another year? How does Gerald Mincey fit into that? Well, Cade Mays is part of the circumstances that Cade Mays needs to come back, and he needs to put some tape out there at his natural position of guard. Does Tennessee look to the portal to find a tackle so they're able to slide Cade Mays inside? But it all starts, this offense runs off of Hendon Hooker. So his announcement today that he will be back, so exciting. Obviously, you're going to have to find a way to replace the production of Velus Jones Jr. and Cedric Tillman and Javonte Payton. Again, does Tillman come back? That's going to be key. But regardless of whether or not Tillman decides to come back, you're still losing 6 touchdown receptions from Javonte Payton, 6 touchdown receptions from Velus Jones Jr. Also, VAWLS had 52 catches for 722 yards. How do you find a way to replace that? Well, let me tell you why I'm excited. I'm encouraged. And yes, those are big shoes to fill. VAWLS Jones Jr., Javonte Payton made some big-time plays for this football team. But let's rewind. Let's go back. Let's go back before spring practice last year when we're talking about this football team and who excites you. Javonte Payton was not mentioned. We talked about how maybe he would be able to play the slot. Maybe we would find a way to be able to contribute. Cedric Tillman was not mentioned, ended up being the leading receiver for this football team. No, we were talking about VAWLS Jones. We were talking about Jalen Hyatt. We were talking about whether or not some of the young guys like Jimmy Callaway, Jimmy Holiday would come along. The bottom line is the proof is in the pudding for 2021. Josh Heupel is going to get guys open. So who comes along? Say Cedric Tillman does come back. Does Jalen Hyatt take that next step to do what he can do in SEC play? We saw a little flash of it in 2020 against Alabama. What about a guy like Ramel Keaton? Can Ramel Keaton come along and be that Cedric Tillman for 2022? The wide receiver room has some talent. They have some young guns coming in. Just got the commitment from Caleb Webb. Guy we've almost forgot about because he's been committed for so long, Cam Miller. We're talking about Squirrel White. 3-star on paper, 5-star on film, depending on who you ask. There are some weapons coming in as true freshmen, but I wouldn't be surprised. I would not be surprised at all to see Josh Heupel go out into the portal and find another wide receiver that can come in like a Javonte Payton, give you a one and done. That is what college football is going to be from now on. That's what the transfer portal is doing. It is free agency. Go out and get an experienced guy, bring them in, one or two and done. It's almost as if these Division II players, it's almost like it's the minor leagues. You go somewhere, you develop, you put on that size, and then you transfer to a Power 5 program to audition for the NFL draft. So will Josh Heupel go into the portal to find somebody to fill in at wide receiver? Regardless, it all starts with Hendon Hooker. That puts us all at ease when we start looking ahead at the schedule for 2022. What's the ceiling? I've got it up on the screen there right now. What is the ceiling for 2022, knowing that Hendon Hooker is coming back? Feel pretty confident Tennessee is going to be 3-0 going into that Florida Gators game. How big is that Florida game? It is time to turn the tables and start putting a beating on Florida and get this rivalry back where it belongs. Obviously, in the news over the last week or so, with Billy Napier coming into Florida, all the guys decommitting, all the guys hitting the transfer portal, is he going to be able to piece together a roster to compete in 2022, or is it time for Tennessee to take that next step and start putting it on the Florida Gators? When I look at that schedule, the sky's the limit. I see two losses. That if you asked me to bet my life savings, I wouldn't have the confidence to do it right now. That's Alabama and Georgia. Every other game on that schedule is winnable. 10 wins is possible. 10 wins to me is your ceiling. I could see 8 to 10 wins when I look at that schedule, and knowing that Hendon Hooker is coming back. One thing that's missing from this offense that I wish Tennessee could have picked up, and that's a running back. No disrespect to Jabari Small. I think he was a trooper. He was a warrior this year, battled through injury the entire season. But if Tennessee could have got a guy like a Zach Evans or like a Gibbs out of Georgia Tech, if they could have got one of those dynamic running backs to come in and be that 1-2 punch with Jabari Small, I think that is the one piece that this offense is missing. And again, no disrespect. Jabari Small's a tough running back. Jalen Wright started to come on late. Maybe that's the 1-2 punch. Maybe it's Jabari Small, Jalen Wright. Justin Williams, incoming freshman, going to be putting the pen to paper on Wednesday morning, 8 a.m. Feel pretty confident that he is leaning Tennessee's way. but how high are your expectations for a true freshman? Again, I feel good with Jabari Small, Jalen Wright. I hope for Tennessee to add somebody with some experience through the transfer portal. We'll see how that plays out over the coming weeks. But again, the news out, big time news for Tennessee. Hendon Hooker elects to come back for a super senior season. Big time news, man. I'm excited. Leave me a comment. Let me know your thoughts. What are your predictions for next year, knowing that Hendon Hooker is back? 10 wins? Feels like 98. Please don't say that. I wish I could take that back. 8 wins, 10 wins. What's your predictions, your early predictions, knowing that Hendon Hooker returns for a super senior season? But that is going to wrap it up for this one. If you have not done so yet, please smash that thumbs up on the way out the door. Also, go check out the official merchandise of the Talkin' VAWLS Network. Go to bonfire.com/store/Talkin' VAWLS. Any and all support is greatly appreciated. That's going to wrap it up. This is the Talkin' VAWLS Network. My name is Boogie Bentley. Go Big Orange.
How like me, poets sat in our chains, soaking moonlit falls, unbroken past this inundated orb that we draw home, and it's night and I'm alone and I'm alive. The